Do you know that fable about the scorpion and the frog? They hook up?
Eve and Villanelle, they walked away from each other on that bridge in the season 3 finale, but they did turn back and share a look. So where do we find them when season 4 opens?
There's a time jump. It's not necessarily a direct line from the end of season 3, which is what we've kind of had in previous seasons from 1 to 2 and even 2 to 3. So we see them at very different places. In some ways, it's like, you know, the bridge scene at the end of season 3 is even before that, when they're dancing, it's a moment of almost calm where they actually have a conversation.
I've killed so many people, Eve. I know.
And on the bridge, they really have an honest, heart-to-heart conversation because that's the moment that I feel that they realize that, oh my gosh, maybe you're the person that I can depend on because I can't trust anyone else.
I think we all have monsters inside of us. It's just that most people manage to keep theirs hidden.
But so we've had that in 3, but we begin season 4 in a slightly different place. You know, Eve is very much changed. She has all these different skills and she's on a kind of one-way revenge mission. And of course you see Villanelle kind of really trying to enact some change.
Yes, enact. That's a good word, actually. Yeah, she's trying to enact some change. I think she's really trying to prove something, you know? And I think Eve is a huge part of that. She's the first person who she wants to
see,
to show what she's done.
What are you doing?
Trying to show you I've changed.
If you'd really changed, you wouldn't have come here.
Oh, if you'd really changed, you wouldn't have led me.
I don't think she's quite sure of what it is she's trying to achieve, in a sense of I think she's trying to prove people wrong, and I don't think that ever gets you anywhere, you know? And I think there is a side of her that is inherently bad and that she can't escape. And she's really confronted with that at the start of the season.
I killed 2 people last night after I tried really hard not to.
Okay. Well, that's not ideal.
You mentioned the great dance scene in the season 3 finale as like a moment of calm for these two to actually spend time with each other. Eve said that if she and Villanelle were actually together, they would consume each other.
We'd never make it that long. We'd consume each other before we got old.
A lot of fans are rooting for this romance to actually happen between the two of them. But is it sort of doomed from the start?
Oh, God. Is it doomed from the start?
You know, a proper romance is always doomed. Just storytelling wise. That's why it's a romance. That's why it doesn't necessarily turn into a relationship, which can be boring. You know what I mean? So dramatically, there is always a longing to keep that romance. There is a certain sense of inevitability that you cannot be together for one reason or another. That definitely continues playing, but it gets much richer, particularly in the very last
and it's
episode.
like they know that, but it doesn't stop them.
It doesn't stop them.
They've known that the whole way, yet they still are within each other's orbit, you know? They still go back and are kind of seeking. I mean, Villanelle is definitely at the start of this season, much more than, you know, Eve is in a very different place.
You know, it's like from the very, very first series to then this one, it's like these are 2 sparks that can barely be in the same room together. That they just shoot off. It's just too much energy. And as every season continues, they're able to be in each other's orbit a little bit more and a little bit more. So I think you'll see them in each other's orbit the most in this season.